Hello, you fine and lovely folk. Welcome to the James Smiles YouTube channel. I haven't actually made a video in a short period of time, but I'm coming to you today to talk a little bit about the current experience of a theme park enthusiast. And I want to see if you agree with me on this or not. So, all I see is negative comments coming from theme park enthusiasts, and this is very much the case in regards to Merlin Entertainments. I don't think that Merlin Entertainments are necessarily making all the right decisions, and that's very clear to see. But what people seem to cling on to is that they know everything about the inner workings of the business, and so their opinion is the correct one, and everything's so simple, everything's so easily fixed. This is my biggest gripe with trying to engage with the rest of the community on these matters, and it's because I just really struggle to connect to like the echo chamber. That's what it feels like. No matter what small change is made, if it has a negative impact on the customer experience, I could totally sit there and see that that's something that is you should be upset about. But the problem is, sometimes in business, especially with the current climate that we're in, which, by the way, is not easy for businesses in the leisure industry, it's so easy for us to say, well, you guys don't care about us as customers, or it's run down, and you're not investing, and you don't care about the company, and you're making bad decision after bad decision. But there's no way that we could possibly know if that is a bad decision. Now, I'm going to get onto this. Picture this. You actually work for Merlin Entertainments. You are a manager who works in customer relations, or someone higher up who does design or manages operations, and you're there, and you're sitting together. Everything that happens in those meetings is vastly more complicated with such a huge business than you could probably ever realize, than me and you would ever probably know. Maybe if you've worked in a role like that previously, then you would know, but ultimately we don't know. And there's got to be a lot of trade-offs, especially when businesses are suffering and feeling profit losses more than ever. There has to be some trade-offs. This is a really long-winded explanation, so I do apologise. But I'm saying that so that you understand this next bit, which is, it's not fair for, or helpful, if you're a genuine fan of the resort, Alton Towers Resort, Thorpe Park Resort, Chessington World of Adventures, if you're a genuine fan of those places, and you enjoy going there, and a lot of the people saying the negative comments go there every single weekend, if not every week, then maybe every fortnight. You're the people who are saying very negative things and spreading things online which are so unhelpful for the reputation of the park that you love to go to. So I can't wrap my head around what you're doing there in the first place. Except for, it's because the park's genuinely fine. There are issues, but you're only even noticing those issues because you spend so much of your life there. For the average person, that experience is still good and magical and fun. And yes, I'll come back to it. There is trade-offs. It's not all positive. There's definitely things that have gone downhill and are in need of attention. But what I'm trying to explain is that as a fan base, you should be more positive and optimistic, or try and understand why something has changed for the worse, instead of jumping to conclusions and just saying, oh, screw Alton Towers, hate this company. It's not the right way that we should be supporting something that we love. I'm sure there is many talented individuals and people that work at Alton Towers that are very frustrated in their roles, because they are in a situation where they can't easily fix all of those problems. But at the moment, it just feels like when they do address something, it goes unnoticed, and everything else is bad press. Now, obviously, enthusiasts are a very small percentage of people, realistically, that visit the theme park, and so I'm sure it doesn't have a crazy impact on them. But also, your voices as enthusiasts are the ones that are most heard by the resort. So, if we could all just try being a little bit more optimistic and a little bit more positive, then maybe the people, those human beings, those individuals that work inside those roles would be able to read that stuff and feel a little bit more excited and motivated to go out and change the park and make good changes and do exciting things. But please remember, one, leisure is suffering anyway at the moment, so they don't have the same amount of money to throw around. Two, negativity gets us nowhere. And three, I haven't got a third point, to be honest. Well, hopefully that all made sense. I should have had a third point, to be fair. That was pretty poor. I do apologise. But I think you understand the message I'm trying to say is I'm just getting frustrated, just constantly seeing, and maybe it's just the echo chamber I'm in, but just constant negativity towards the parks. And these are coming from people that are supposed to love them. This is your hobby. So I do understand why you get passionate about it, but try and understand what I'm saying here. There's a lot more at play for these places than you'll ever know. I'm not trying to be rude, there just is. There's a lot more going on in the background that we can never know. Every change that happens, there's meetings being going on. There's things that you don't know about. And I'm not just trying to defend everything that they've done wrong, because there are many things that are concerning, but it seems like as soon as there's anything that's slightly concerning, everyone just sort of goes whoop, rather than going, all right, let's try and understand what could be causing this to happen or whatever. Anyway, I don't know why I've waffled on at the camera for 8 minutes. There's going to be like no editing in this video. I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much. Bye bye.